In a twist no one saw coming, reports have surfaced claiming that Beyoncé recently held a secret meeting with the FBI. The moment this news dropped, it sent shockwaves through both social media and the entertainment world. Fans were stunned, critics were intrigued, and the rumors spread like wildfire. Why would one of the world's biggest stars suddenly meet with federal agents behind closed doors?
There's just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost. Adding fuel to the fire, an unsettling audio clip allegedly featuring Meek Mill and Diddy has surfaced, courtesy of Diddy's former bodyguard.
So far, there's no official confirmation from Beyoncé or her team. No public statements, no denial, no explanation, just silence. And that silence is speaking volumes to people who are already on edge following the wave of scandals tied to Sean Diddy Combs. Now, this isn't just another celebrity headline. This is serious. A quiet meeting with the FBI usually means someone's either giving information or trying to protect themselves before things escalate. What makes this even more intense is the timing, with Diddy facing major charges and being investigated for sex trafficking, money laundering, and running what some are calling a criminal network. Everyone connected to him is now under the microscope, including Beyoncé. A do-si-do does not make you a country artist.
She did a whole commercial for the Christmas failure. I keep thinking everybody forgot. Her little section was the entertainment for the game. That's what they got for Christmas. Some old running around in a drawers with chaps on, who advertised the song with a banjo, and we got no banjo. They did so many do-si-do tricks, had Blue Ivy out there making mistakes and looking wild, forgetting where she was, and they keep putting this little girl in dresses where her cleavage is pushed up.
Many are wondering, is Beyoncé just being cautious, or is she more involved in what's unfolding than we realize? Could she have information that could shift the direction of this massive investigation? As questions grow, the public is hungry for answers, and with no comment from Beyoncé, people are left piecing together clues, scrolling through old interviews, and watching who unfollows who on social media.
What's going on, Jamie?
I don't know. There's a lot going on. A lot of rumors are flying.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof for anything.
Dude, when Homeland Security invade your house, you got problems with dudes with guns and body armor.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. The real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
like
that's funny.
With Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
The fact that this news leaked at all is rare. Meetings with the FBI are usually top secret, so if word got out, there's likely a bigger story brewing behind the scenes. And the entertainment world, once known for its glitter and glamour, is now starting to look more like a crime scene. Let's break down how this even became possible, and how the Diddy scandal is starting to pull in names no one expected.
There's just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost. Adding fuel to the fire, an unsettling audio clip allegedly featuring Meek Mill and Diddy has surfaced, courtesy of Diddy's former bodyguard.
The Diddy scandal and its ripple effects. To understand why Beyoncé's alleged FBI meeting matters, you have to look at the bigger picture, specifically the chaos unfolding around Sean Diddy Combs.
Beyoncé is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything, just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
In late 2023, Diddy's name began trending for all the wrong reasons. Lawsuits started piling up, and victims came forward with serious claims. Accusations of sex trafficking, coercion, blackmail, and even secret surveillance at private celebrity parties. Eventually, things got so serious that the FBI raided Diddy's homes in both Los Angeles and Miami, and what they reportedly found was disturbing. Dozens of hidden cameras, drugs, and footage that could implicate several big names.
Beyoncé is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day, and she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
This wasn't just about one celebrity gone rogue. This was about a network, a group of powerful people attending the same events, protected by NDAs and silence. Suddenly, people who used to party with Diddy or do business with him found themselves being looked at differently. Jay-Z, Usher, Cuba Gooding Jr., and now Beyoncé. These are all names that were close to Diddy at some point. Whether it was business, music, or social events, they were around, and now those connections are raising questions. Beyoncé's name being pulled into this isn't random. When people started noticing how quiet she had been while all of this unraveled, it sparked curiosity, and then the alleged FBI meeting rumor hit. That's when things really took a turn. It's not that Beyoncé has been accused of anything, but when someone this famous shows up on the FBI's radar during a high-profile criminal investigation, people start asking, why now? What does she know? What is she trying to protect?
Sometimes you have to tell Diddy no.
Oh, man, bruh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
Sean Diddy Combs' alleged list of accomplices to be revealed soon. The names will shock you, attorney says. Whoa.
I think he's gonna sing, hey. If I got invited to the white party, I'd have gone.
Especially if you didn't know.
Of course, no one knew. No one
Right.
knew.
If
And
you
then
don't know, you're
find
just
out.
a celebrity, and you know, oh, Jennifer Lopez is going to be there. Oh, Rick
That's what I'm
Ross is
saying.
going to be there. Everyone's going to be there.
And
That would be a cool place. I want to meet those people.
Fact.
As more names get exposed and more lawsuits go public, this scandal is affecting the entire industry. Record labels, management teams, and publicists are all on edge. No one knows who's going to be named next, and the ripple effects of Diddy's downfall are still spreading fast. Beyoncé's alleged involvement, separating fact from fiction. When news broke about Beyoncé allegedly meeting with the FBI, the internet exploded. Some believed it instantly, others called it fake, and many were left confused about what to believe. Here's the thing, so far there's no official document, no press release, and no statement confirming that Beyoncé met with the FBI, but that hasn't stopped the speculation. People close to the situation suggest that if the meeting did happen, it wasn't because Beyoncé was guilty, it was because she might have important information.
There's just been a shocking revelation from federal authorities regarding a highly private and scandalous video involving none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, reportedly taken during a wild party hosted by Diddy. Apparently during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations. Speculation is rife that Diddy intentionally leaked this footage to authorities as a form of revenge against the Carters, allegedly due to their perceived lack of support during his legal battles. It seems he's on a mission to embarrass them at any cost. Adding fuel to the fire, an unsettling audio clip allegedly featuring Meek Mill and Diddy has surfaced, courtesy of Diddy's former bodyguard.
Remember, she's been in the industry for decades. She's been around the same events, the same people, the same circles. If federal investigators are trying to understand how Diddy's operation worked, it would make sense to talk to people who were there. Some sources believe Beyoncé may have been invited to speak as a witness, not as a suspect. Others think she may be cooperating to protect her own name and business from getting dragged into something much bigger. Either way, it's clear that her team is playing it smart. No reactions, no panic, just silence. But the public, they want answers. And in the absence of real info, people are making up their own theories. Some claim Beyoncé knew more than she let on. Others argue she's being used as a distraction. Either way, her name is now part of a conversation no one ever expected. This shows how dangerous misinformation can be. Diddy. A single rumor can turn into a viral headline, and without real facts, people are forced to guess, and guessing in public usually leads to chaos. The truth is, Beyoncé may be completely clean in all this. She may be helping behind the scenes. Or maybe this story isn't about her at all, and someone else leaked the rumor to shift the focus. Until something concrete comes out, all we have is speculation, and that makes it harder than ever to separate what's real from what's just rumor. Jay-Z's reaction, navigating personal and professional turbulence.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
As the rumors about Beyoncé's alleged FBI meeting gained steam, the spotlight naturally shifted to Jay-Z. For years, the couple has stood side by side, both in music and business, building one of the most powerful brands in entertainment. So when one half of that empire is rumored to be speaking to federal agents, people can't help but ask, what does Jay-Z think? Insiders claim Jay-Z was blindsided. He allegedly had no idea Beyoncé was even considering speaking with investigators, let alone that a meeting had already happened. While this hasn't been publicly confirmed, reports say the news caused serious tension behind closed doors. Adding to the stress is the fact that Jay-Z's own name has surfaced in connection to the broader Diddy investigation. A woman listed in court documents as Jane Doe has accused both Diddy and Jay-Z of misconduct at an after-party years ago. Jay-Z's legal team has strongly denied all claims, calling the lawsuit an extortion attempt. Still, with so much already happening, it's a tough time for more accusations.
Now, I bet you want to know why Jay-Z and Beyonce's name keep popping up around the whole Diddy thing. Well, that's why I'm here. Now, first thing you gotta know is when somebody like Diddy gets taken down, things always start out as a rumor. Diddy has had rumors floating around for like decades. Well, Jay-Z had a problem. He right there in the corner, by the way. Jay-Z has had a few rumors himself, but more like speculation. People see Jay-Z in a picture of R. Kelly, they're like, I guess they both make music. Then Jay-Z with Harvey Weinstein. People are like, I guess they both do business. Then, of course, Jay-Z with Diddy. Now, hold on. Here's the thing. Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. Like back to the days when they were both coming up. So you could say they might just have a lot of respect for each other. But on the other hand, people are like, well, if you've known each other that long, Jay-Z, you must have known what Diddy was on. But Jay-Z has always had a history of keeping quiet, which brings us to Aaliyah. Now, I'm sure y'all remember R. Kelly dated Aaliyah when she literally needed her parents' permission slip to get married. Now, if I remember correctly, her parents got the permission slip and said, marry who? And that's how this whole thing got exposed. Now, a lot of people in the industry actually knew about this relationship because they would work with R. Kelly. They would be in the studio with R. Kelly. Now, according to Dame Dash, who listened closely, was Jay-Z's first business partner and also dated Aaliyah when she was 21.
Sources close to the couple say they're trying to stay united, but things are clearly different. Beyoncé has been showing up to public events alone, making business moves independently, and distancing her brand from anything controversial. Meanwhile, Jay-Z has gone low-key, less public appearances, fewer posts, and no public comments. Behind the scenes, both are working overtime to protect what they've built. Lawyers are reviewing contracts, PR teams are in strategy mode. Their empire, Roc Nation Ivy Park title, is under more pressure than ever before. The goal now, avoid collapse. The truth is, this scandal has forced the Carters into a position they've never been in before, defense mode. And even though they've survived controversy in the past, this time feels different. This time federal agencies are involved, and that raises the stakes for everyone. The broader implications for the entertainment industry. This scandal isn't just about Diddy, Beyoncé, or Jay-Z. It's about something much bigger. It's about an entire system in the entertainment industry that's been running in the background for decades. A system built on power, secrets, and silence. And now, finally, that system is being dragged into the light.
It's a big week for Jay-Z. His Roc Nation is geared up to produce the most watched live performance of the year, the Super Bowl halftime show. And of course, he was there to cheer on his wife, who took home the coveted award of Album of the Year at this year's Grammys. So in light of all of that, he's also making a surprising move in his ongoing back and forth with Tony Busby. Now at this point, we all know who the Texas-based attorney is. You know, the same one who said that he had more than 100 accusers ready to file lawsuits against Diddy.
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
And of course, we know later that Jane Doe, who is being represented by the Texas attorney, filed a suit a couple weeks after this press conference accusing Diddy of raping her when she was just 13 years old. Then amended that complaint weeks later, adding Jay-Z, Sean Carter's name to that child rape lawsuit alongside Diddy.
For years, there were whispers. People talked about the dark side of Hollywood, the exclusive after parties, the closed-door deals, the NDAs, the things that everyone knew were happening, but no one ever dared to say out loud. It was an unspoken agreement. What happens behind the scenes stays there, not because people didn't care, but because the people in control had money, influence, and teams of lawyers ready to shut down anything that looked like a threat. But now, that power is starting to crack. Lawsuits are getting filed. Victims are speaking up. Federal agents are doing raids. And slowly but surely, the veil is being lifted. This is more than just a celebrity story. It's a moment that could change how the entire industry works. Right now, people inside Hollywood are nervous. You can feel it. Some are deleting social media posts that show them at certain parties. Others are calling their lawyers, reviewing their past deals, or getting ahead of stories before they break.
A female celebrity was also mentioned in that complaint as well. However, her identity has since remained a mystery. Since that happened, first, let me say both Sean Combs and Sean Carter have denied those accusations. Diddy's team said, quote, "In court, the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor." Meanwhile, Jay-Z made a scathing statement of denial, mainly targeting Tony Busby. He said in part, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny." Now that statement went on to call Tony Busby a deplorable human, a man with no valor, and an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Now while Diddy sits in a jail cell awaiting trial,
but at the same time, there's another group, people who are fed up, producers, assistants, dancers, stylists, the people who've worked behind the scenes and kept quiet for too long. They're starting to speak out. They're saying, enough. Enough of the NDAs, enough of the fear, enough of pretending everything is okay just to protect someone's career. And this movement isn't just talk. There are real conversations happening in boardrooms. Record labels are quietly reviewing their policies. Contracts are being rewritten to protect employees, not just talent. Some production companies are even starting to build out departments focused on ethical compliance and safer work environments, something that barely existed before. There's also increasing pressure to challenge NDAs, especially the ones that were signed under coercion or used to bury abuse. Legal teams are now looking into whether those documents can be invalidated, allowing victims to speak freely for the first time. Of course, not everyone wants this change. There are still powerful people clinging to the old system. They're doing damage control, spinning stories, and hoping the headlines die down. But what they don't realize is that the public has changed. We're not in the 2000s anymore. Social media, podcasts, independent journalists, these platforms are now holding people accountable in ways that traditional media wouldn't or couldn't years ago.
By the way, pleaded not guilty to those charges, denies all the accusations made in the various lawsuits. Jay-Z and Tony Busby have been going back and forth with lots of motions filed, complaints filed, and accusations flying on both ends. The Jane Doe alleging she was raped by Diddy and Jay-Z went on NBC, where they pointed out consistencies in her account of what happened, including that her father picked her up after the alleged rape. Her father later told NBC he didn't recall that. She claimed she spoke to a celebrity there, but that celeb wasn't even in New York at that time. And photos showed Diddy and Jay-Z at different locations than the Jane Doe described. Now that interview happened in mid-December. By the end of that month, Jay-Z sued Busby for defamation and extortion. Jay-Z's legal team has also been pushing for the Jane Doe to not hide under anonymity. And of course, Jay-Z's lawyers have been trying to get his name off that child rape lawsuit or just have it dismissed altogether. Now, a judge ruled that she can proceed anonymously for now, but scolded Jay-Z's attorneys for their combative motions and inflammatory language used against Tony Busby. Then in January, a legal petition was filed by a Texas man who is represented by Tony Busby, who also accused Jay-Z's lawyers of bribing people to sue Busby and his law firm. So a lot's happened. Now, in a surprising move, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro is seemingly softening up on Busby. In a letter to Judge Annalisa Torres, the same one who previously scolded him, Spiro wrote, quote, "Dear Judge Torres, we write on behalf of defendant Sean Carter to respectfully request that Mr. Carter's motion for sanctions..."
And the public is paying attention. They're not just watching the headlines. They're digging deeper. They're connecting the dots, calling out the double standards and asking hard questions. Who knew what? Who stayed quiet? Who protected who? This scandal might have started with Diddy, but where it ends could reshape the very foundation of the entertainment industry. It's no longer just about the stars. It's about the system that let this all happen in the first place. Real change might finally be possible, but only if the momentum keeps going and the truth continues to come out.
Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, once known for his lavish lifestyle and living large in his multi-million-dollar mansions, has a new home as he awaits trial in his federal sex trafficking case. Last week, the Bad Boy Founder's defense team unsuccessfully fought to keep the music producer out of federal jail after his arrest. Now his new digs once house other high-profile inmates, including R. Kelly, Fetty Wap, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy is currently housed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, a stark difference from the glitz, glamour, and wealth in Hollywood and Star Island in Miami Beach, Florida. But MDC Brooklyn has been described as hell on earth, with horrifying conditions. The facility, which now houses Diddy, opened in the early 90s and is the only federal jail in New York City after the Bureau of Prisons closed its Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2021 after many issues came to light in the wake of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide just 2 years earlier.
He goes on to say that he is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. Now, Abby, that video that you just spoke about was a few months ago when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. Now, up until this point, when we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. After that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from Making the Band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
Media's role, fueling speculation versus reporting facts. When stories like this break, the media plays a huge role. They can either help us understand the truth or make everything worse. From the moment Beyoncé's alleged FBI meeting hit the internet, headlines exploded. Beyoncé flips on Jay-Z. Queen Bey spills everything. Secret agent Beyoncé. Some articles had 0 sources. Others quoted anonymous insiders. Most didn't offer facts, just questions. This kind of reporting gets clicks, but it also creates chaos. In today's world, people are quick to believe whatever pops up in their feed. A single tweet can go viral in minutes. A rumor becomes a headline, and before anyone can check the facts, the damage is done. That's exactly what happened here. Instead of waiting for real confirmation, blogs and YouTube channels rush to push their version of the story, and that's dangerous, not just for Beyoncé, but for everyone involved. Journalists have a responsibility, especially during scandals, when careers and reputations are on the line. We need reporting that's solid, fair, and fact-checked. But in the race to be first, that responsibility often gets tossed aside. At the same time, audiences also play a part. We have to be more careful with what we believe and share. Not everything trending on TikTok is true. Not every comment section theory is real. It's easy to get caught up in the drama, but it's important to stay grounded. There's nothing wrong with being curious, but curiosity shouldn't come at the cost of truth. And if we want justice for real victims and accountability for real abusers, we need to focus on facts, not clickbait. So yes, the media has power, but it also has a choice. Stir up noise or tell the real story.
Hey, I'm Hallie, and tonight we are learning in just the last few minutes that a federal judge is now refusing to grant Sean Diddy Combs bail. Instead, He's going straight to jail tonight after Diddy pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Want to show you some of these brand new court sketches coming into us, like literally in the last 90 seconds. This is Combs in court after prosecutors arrested him at a hotel in Manhattan. It's where he's apparently been living for weeks, according to what a person familiar with the move tells NBC News. All of it a tipping point now in that sprawling federal investigation into the superstar's alleged years of sex crimes dating back to 2009. As we're just getting in some new and deeply disturbing details about the allegations against him and what looks like a massive criminal operation, allegedly. At least 50 victims and witnesses so far. And at the center of it, these hours and days-long sex acts known as, in their words, freak-offs that Combs supposedly orchestrated to abuse his victims.
Sean Diddy Combs is locked up in a federal jail that has been plagued by harsh conditions and violence. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn has seen multiple deaths in recent years. An inmate was stabbed to death in July, and several others have died by suicide. It's these reasons, among others, that Combs' lawyers are fighting to get him out of there. They want him released on bail, rather than being kept in jail while he awaits trial on sex trafficking charges. Combs is just the latest high-profile defendant to be locked up at MDC Brooklyn. Before him, there were R. Kelly, Elaine Maxwell, and crypto scammer Sam Bankman-Fried. Maxwell complained about her treatment at the facility, which included round-the-clock checks in the wake of her associate Jeffrey Epstein's jail suicide. A few years ago, a week-long power outage in the dead of winter left detainees in drab, cold conditions. Judges have also raised alarms. They've pressed the Bureau of Prisons for status updates and implored the agency to fix things. One judge even refused to send some defendants to the jail. For now, Combs is one of about 1,200 people locked up in MDC Brooklyn. He's the highest profile detainee at a place that's been described as hell on earth.
Awaiting clarity amidst the chaos. Right now, we're in the middle of something huge. A story that started with Diddy has grown into a storm, pulling in some of the biggest names in entertainment. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Usher. More could be next. But the truth? We still don't have all the facts. Beyoncé's alleged FBI meeting hasn't been confirmed. Jay-Z's legal situation is still unfolding, and the lawsuits around Diddy are growing by the day. It's messy, confusing, and filled with questions no one's fully answered yet. That's why it's important to be patient. In situations like this, jumping to conclusions only adds to the chaos. As more information comes out, through court documents, interviews, and official statements, we'll start to see the full picture. Until then, it's okay to ask questions, but it's also okay to wait for the answers. What we do know is this: the entertainment industry is changing. Secrets are being exposed, power is being challenged, and the people who used to hide behind fame are finally being held accountable. Fans are watching, the public is listening, and there's no going back. Whatever happens next, let's hope it brings us closer to truth, justice, and a safer industry for everyone.